we are getting started with this Korean barbecue pizza with the dough. It's already been pre-made. I made it beforehand. I got some gochujang paste. Really good, like a mild spicy. We also have the mozzarella, 100% whole milk, best one to use. And yeah, let's preheat this oven, 425 degrees Fahrenheit. And we're gonna preheat this while we make the pizza. We're starting with a cast iron skillet. It's 9 inches or 10 inches, depending on which ones you have. You can use whichever one you want. We're gonna go ahead and let the dough rest in the skillet. We're gonna unpack it and leave it on the stove to basically get to room temperature since it's been in the refrigerator for a bit. Now this dough, it's pretty tasty. Pro tip, add a little bit of brown sugar when you're making the dough, and it'll make it a lot more fluffier because the yeast is eating it up. All right, we got the brisket sliced from the local Korean market here in Washington. These are great. It's thinly sliced brisket. We have the Korean barbecue sauce that's usually used, the bulgogi sauce. We're gonna fry this up in the pan. We're not fry it up, basically cook it up in the pan here. And then once it's kind of like mediumly cooked, we're gonna add the sauce in. And we're not gonna cook it like 100% all the way because we want that little char effect from the oven. So we're gonna let that simmer a bit. When you see all the extra juice in there, you can definitely dump that out and then add the sauce in there. I chose to dump it out. I didn't show it on camera, but as you can see, there's like less juice in the pan. We're gonna just let the sauce kind of caramelize with the beef over the heat for a while. That way that I didn't pre-marinate this. You could definitely pre-marinate the meat with the sauce and then cook it. It would definitely be a lot more flavorful, but to those their own. We're gonna go ahead and stretch out the dough in the cast iron pan. This cast iron pan is cold, right? So I like to put the dough up against the side so it has a more fluffier crust. And then we're gonna take the gochujang paste and we're gonna spread it onto the dough, like as if it was mozzarella sauce, but it's going to be with gochujang paste. It's actually a little bit hard to put it on there because one, I was holding the camera with my other hand, trying to spoon off this paste on there, and then also that the gochujang paste is actually a bit thick. So we're gonna do one thing. I actually didn't show it in this video here, but I took ricotta out of the fridge, which, yes, I took the ricotta out of the fridge and I'm gonna add it to the gochujang paste to actually give it more creamier pizza, which I love ricotta on pizza. So definitely, it's optional, definitely don't need to have it, but it adds a lot more creaminess to the pizza. Okay, so the one thing I was filming and the camera was turned the opposite way, so I didn't see like the cheese and the meat put on the pizza, but basically just add the mozzarella cheese and the meat that was cooking in the pan onto the pizza. So I cooked this for 15 to 17 minutes, depending on your stove or oven. It's definitely up to you, like how crispy you want your crust. This is a little bit crispy, but a lot more fluffier. I'm going ahead and adding green onions on top of the pizza. Typically in most Korean or Asian dishes, there's always green onions on top of everything, which also adds an extra kick, which I love. This is tteokbokki sauce. I don't know if I can pronounce that correctly. It's a little bit spicy. It's used mostly for rice cakes, but it is great for topping on the pizza. It's like the extra, layer of different spicy dimensions. And then there we have it. We have the Korean barbecue pizza. Cutting it up, you hear that little slight crunch into the crust. The crust is it's super soft, as you can see. Now I will tell you, even though like I'm cutting this up, it is so tasty, so delicious. I did not show on camera how good this pizza is because I just like gobbled it all up. So by all means, I highly recommend you try this recipe. Just pizza dough, the gochujang paste, ricotta if you want, cheese, bulgogi meat, and there you have it, the Korean barbecue pizza with, any additional toppings.